for you to lose weight, we want to remind you that the Bible tells us that with God on our side, all things are possible. Now,
even weight loss.
that's right. I was going to say, it doesn't say all things are possible except losing weight, right? Because that would be kind of weird.
Oh, that's right.
So we just want to talk today about biblical tips for weight loss, and we want to share some exciting news about an upcoming challenge that we've got going on.
So stick around. If you're new here, welcome. We're Ruth and Casey. We're a mother-daughter team. And so let's dive into our 3 biblical tips for weight loss.
After I fix my hair.
Okay.
But I think before we do that, if you're new here, we want to tell you that the reason that we can talk about this topic with confidence is because both of us have lost weight using biblical principles that we want to share with you today.
Yeah.
I've lost 150 pounds between 2 pregnancies by applying these principles.
And I'm just going to pipe in here and say, she had a hard time losing weight.
Yeah.
It wasn't like, some people have a baby and the weight just flops off.
That was not my experience.
No. She actually had to do our plan and use these principles to lose the weight.
Yeah, and you lost 20 pounds using these principles as well. So it doesn't matter how much weight you have to lose. It doesn't matter if you have 5 pounds, 10 pounds, or 100 pounds, or 300 pounds, right?
These principles work because if we have the faith as big as a mustard seed, which is very, very little. Have you ever looked at a mustard seed? If you have never looked at a mustard seed, I want you to go next time you're in the grocery store and look at a mustard seed. I actually used to carry a mustard seed around in my pocket. I had it in a little Ziploc bag and I carried it around for years.
I remember that.
Just because it shows you that if you have the faith of a mustard seed, you can move a mountain. That's all it takes. Do you believe that God can help you lose weight?
Yeah. And, we like to talk about the Bible being our blueprint for best living. And so the stuff that it says in there, it's for our good. And we can't forget that, right? It's not a bunch of rules and regulations that we have to be legalistic about. It's for our good, right?
Yeah.
We have to remember that all of these things, even the things in the Bible that feel like they take a lot of work, like having self-control, which it is a lot of work to have self-control, but it's for our good. And I think that that's one of the big things that we have to remember. And so all of these 3 points that we're going to share with you today, you might kind of grumble and not want to do it, but it's for your good.
Absolutely. And you know what? I'm going to say that goes for the Bible in general. The Bible is our blueprint. It is for our good. Do we want to follow all the rules all the time? Well, I'm not even going to say they're rules.
Yeah.
The
principles.
Yeah, the principles. Sometimes it's so hard. It's hard to love our enemies. We don't feel like doing that all the time.
No.
But are we supposed to? Yeah.
Yeah. Do we screw it up? Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Can we still get back up and carry on? Yeah.
That's right.
And that's really what a weight loss journey is about, right? We like to say progress over perfection because you 100% guaranteed will not be perfect on your weight loss journey. Okay,
No.
Let's just get that through our heads, right? It's not going to be perfect.
No, and it doesn't have to be perfect.
No.
And, we can always forgive ourselves and ask for forgiveness if that's what it takes. But we know it is possible with God in the journey.
Absolutely.
And I'm going to say that's one of our tips. We have to ask God into our journey, and we have to do it daily. Because if we don't, the enemy is going to come and drag us down.
Yeah, and that's actually one of the things that we believe is the missing link for Christian women on weight loss journeys is that we've worked with many, many women on weight loss journeys, and specifically Christian women. And so many are I've never thought about including God in this part of my life. And, to be honest, we hadn't really either until we started all of this that we do.
Yeah.
But it's the missing link because it's like we've already said, A, we can look to the Bible as our blueprint for best living and find a lot of wisdom in there for our weight loss journey. And B, we are called to invite God into every part of our life. And so our weight loss journey is included in that.
That's right. If we think of if we think of Jesus and his life on earth, he always went to the Father. Always. He needed that time with the Father in order to do what he had to do. Well, we are the same. If we have the Holy Spirit living within us, we need to look to the Father. We need the help from him to get us through. Because I'm going to say, a weight loss journey isn't like it's not just like one day.
No.
You know, like if we could just have that magic pill and snap our fingers and it would all be gone, well, then it would be a totally different journey. But this journey is going to, if you include God in the journey, you are going to grow in your faith, because I'm going to say it's a long haul, and it's hard.
And it's fraught with temptation. It's one of those things that like we don't think about inviting God into the journey, but it's one aspect of our life that like, oh my goodness, we need to be asking
right.
for, like, even I'm just reminded of that verse, I think it's 2 Corinthians, like his grace is sufficient for us because his power is made perfect in our weakness. Well, don't you think that we're going to have a lot of weak moments and
Yeah.
weak days and moments filled with temptation? We need that power to get us through, because
That should have been a major point.
totally, because we like, this isn't just a battle of the flesh, right? A weight loss journey is not just about the number on the scale and the size of clothing that you wear. This is like a battle for like the hearts and minds and souls of us as Christian women, because we are letting our weight keep us stuck and living in defeat. And the enemy knows that. And he is trying to keep us held down. And he knows that food and dieting and body image is such a major, major topic for us.
Yeah.
That like, this is not a battle like here in this realm. I mean, sure, it's here too, but this is a spiritual battle going on, and we have to put on the armor of God and surrender this journey. Otherwise,
we're not going to make it. That's right. So we need the armor of God, and that just shows us that we need God in the journey every single day.
Yes.
We have to start our day by inviting him to walk this day with us, with the armor on. And we need to have our shield up at all times to deflect the arrows from the enemy.
Yeah.
So I'm just going to read, because our first point is to ask God into the journey. And Philippians 4, you can look these verses up, but I'm going to read just starting at verse 6. Be careful for nothing, but in everything. I'm going to repeat that. In everything. That includes a weight loss journey. By prayer and supplication, with thanksgiving, let your requests be known unto God. So we have to start the day with that. Start the day in prayer. Ask him to walk us through. Ask him to keep us strong. Ask him to help us make the right food choices.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So our first point that we've just talked about is we need to ask God into the journey. Now, before we head into points 2 and 3, we want to tell you a little bit about our upcoming 10-day challenge that's starting this week, okay? It starts on the 15th, which is Friday this week, and we want to invite you to take part in it.
In our 10-day challenge.
This is the first time that we have ever done a free challenge, and we are hosting it right here on YouTube. We've had some questions about like, where do I go? You go right here.
Right here.
Yeah,
And
on our channel.
We're going to go live every day for 10 days to encourage you, to give you hope and inspiration and motivation and strength to carry on.
Yeah,
And
we
so-
are weight loss coaches. That is what we have done for the last, I don't know how many years already.
That's right.
We're certified coaches, but we are weight loss coaches more than anything else, I would say.
Yeah.
And so we're going to act like your weight loss coaches for 10 days. And we know that in 10 days, you can turn a lot of things around in your life.
Yeah. Is it going to be easy? Probably not. It's a challenge for a reason. It's called a challenge because it's a challenge.
Yeah.
Now, this particular length of time is short enough that we know you can do it. 10 days. We're doing it for 10 days. Now, anyone can do 10 days, but it's not going to be easy. And the fact that we're starting on a Friday makes it even more difficult, more challenging. But can we do it? Yeah. Remember that mustard seed? Maybe you should go and buy one and put that in your pocket for 10 days.
Yeah. Okay, so what do they do for this challenge?
Yeah. So what we're going to ask you to do is either decide on a plan that you're going to use or purchase our plan. Now, we have a plan called the 10-day WeighDown plan. God gave us this plan, and Casey used it. I used it, like we said at the beginning. It helped Casey lose 150 pounds. But before we put this plan out there for people to purchase, we did a beta test on this plan. Now, if you don't know what a beta test is, it's a test where we gave it to quite a few different women, and they were all shapes and sizes. They were all different ages. They were different cultures. So they ate different things, but they followed our plan for 10 days and every single one of them lost weight.
And felt so much better. Like all of a sudden at the end of 10 days, they're like, I haven't taken my reflux meds for the last couple days.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't realize that. I haven't had heartburn for 10 days. Oh,
I just feel so much better. I just feel healthy. I feel lighter.
I slept well for the first time in as long as I can remember.
My skin is feeling and looking better. Like,
Yeah.
just so many amazing testimonials.
Yeah.
And so then, because we did that beta test, then we put it out, and I'm going to say we tested it with 100 women,
Mm-hmm.
and it worked for every single woman who actually followed the plan. But
Crazy, right?
I'm going to say they followed the plan.
Yeah.
They didn't go like off plan every day.
No, but they also weren't perfect.
No, they weren't perfect.
Like we don't have to expect perfection of ourselves, but we have to be willing to commit to something.
And I'm going to say the reason our plan works is because we use ordinary food. We get back to basics.
That tastes good.
Yeah, that's very tasty.
Yeah.
But what it means is some prep work.
Yeah.
It means that you have to do some stuff yourself. You have to actually do some work. You have to prep in your kitchen. You have to maybe stop going out to eat so much.
Yeah. That's not to say you can't ever go out to eat,
No.
because that's not what we preach or teach or how we live.
No.
But we can't go out for a burger and fries every day of the week and expect to lose weight.
And we
right?
can't keep drinking all those sugary drinks every day and expect to lose weight.
Exactly.
So our plan is a very healthy plan that incorporates every food group. That means carbohydrates, yes, bread. It means we have a little bit of sugar, like in fruit. It means that we eat protein and we just eat normal food.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
And
it works.
We learn to eat a healthy lifestyle, which fuels our body, which treats our body well.
And I think that's the whole point, right? Is like we want to learn how, and our goal is to teach women how to create a healthy lifestyle so that it's a lifestyle going forward. It's not a fad diet that you're going to do for 10 days and then quit, because that's actually not healthy. And losing weight and treating our bodies well should be about our health, right? So that's not healthy. And B, it's not sustainable. You're going to lose some weight and then gain it all back. And then that just keeps us stuck in that perpetual dieting hamster wheel cycle that keeps us down and depressed and in the dumps and feeling horrible about ourselves. So we got to cut that out, right?
Yeah. So what we're saying is that if you're going to do your own plan, find a healthy plan that can be a lifestyle plan.
Yeah.
We don't want these silly fad diets. So like, don't do the cabbage soup diet. And we laugh about that because we used to do the cabbage soup diet.
Yeah, or like don't buy everything low fat, because you want to know what that means? Filled with crap and sugar.
That's right.
Right? Low fat equals terribly unhealthy.
And extra carbs.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, and simple carbs that are not, like not healthy.
Yeah, like naturally things that are fat free, absolutely. But like yogurts and cottage cheeses and milks and stuff like that where they've gone fat free, that does not mean it's healthy.
No.
That means that they've taken out, like we need fats. We need good fats in our diet too. And
that's right.
Yeah, anyways, I could get on a rant about that. But.
So we encourage you to purchase our plan, but you don't have to do this challenge.
Yeah. So okay, I just want to say, if you are choosing to do your own thing, that's totally fine. Doesn't matter to us what you do. We just want you to get healthy, right?
That's right.
And lose the weight that you want to lose for the sake of your health. And so if you are going to do your own plan, have a plan. Okay?
Exactly.
If we aim at nothing, we will hit it every time. And I think that so often is what we do when we go to try and lose weight, is we just like go willy-nilly, oh, tomorrow I'm going to, eat only fruits and vegetables, and you don't even have any fruits and vegetables in your house. Do you think that's going to work? No.
Nope.
So have a plan.
That's right. And that reminds me of, like, if you're going to practice target shooting, if you don't have a target to aim your arrows at, where are they going to go? Where are you going to even point them at? You won't. They'll just drop on the ground.
Well, and you're going to be so frustrated.
Yeah. So have a plan. Whatever your plan is, make sure it's a healthy plan. One that's sustainable for your life, not for 10 days only. Okay, so that's the thing.
Yeah, and we want to say these 3 biblical tips that we are talking about in the video today, after we get off our rant about horrible fad diets, is that these are 3 biblical principles that you can use to create a plan if you don't want to purchase ours. I think you know, as we talk about our plan, I think that is really the genius and the beauty of our plan is that it gives you a plan, right? It's
a healthy,
not
sustainable lifestyle plan.
exactly. It's not that our recipes are the most profound thing that you've ever, like they're great recipes,
Yeah.
but it's nothing about that. It's the fact that it gives you a plan. It gives you something to
Thank
follow
you.
step by step. Yeah, thank you, Marilyn. So it gives you something step by step, right? And I think that's really the beauty of it.
Yeah.
That is what is so helpful. And we walk you through all of the things. We teach you a lot about what we know and what we did to lose the weight. And so, you know, it really is not a magic plan, but it's a magic plan,
Yeah,
right?
that's right. And we know that many women who are doing this challenge already are using our plan.
Yeah.
So if you already have our plan and you're going to do the challenge, please don't buy it again.
Yeah.
Because it costs us money to actually refund you. You know, if you purchase it and you go, oh, I already have that, and then you need a refund, it costs us money to actually refund you. So if you have it, great.
Yeah.
Don't buy it again.
Pull it out and
Yeah.
put it to use. Okay.
Okay, so let's get on to tip number 2.
One more thing.
Okay.
If you want to purchase our plan, the link is in the description. And when we're off of the live here, I will also add it into the comments section. So it's in the description. We will also link it in the comments. So
Yeah.
back to the 3 points. First point
Ask
was
God into your journey every single morning before, like even as soon as your eyes open, start praying. That's what we have to do. Okay. Point number 2 is moderation. Now the Bible speaks about moderation, and we have a couple of verses that we want to share here. And I gave you Philippians 4 verse 6 for asking God into our journey, because it says anything, even weight loss, that's included because that's in anything. The verse above that verse says, let your moderation be known unto all men. Let your moderation be known. What does that mean?
that means that people should see us and know that we are people of moderation, not of
Yeah.
overindulgence.
Exactly. So
That's a little bit of a scary thing to ask ourselves, though, isn't it?
it is.
Would
And
people look at my life and say that I was a person of moderation?
I know. And so it makes me just take some reflection on myself and say, do I need to ask for forgiveness because I haven't been living in moderation? Like, what are we over consuming? It could be anything. It's not just about food, but we're talking about food here. It could be in your spending. It could be in your
shopping habits.
you're watching TV. It could be in a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
But okay, so we're talking about food here, but it says, let your moderation be known unto all men. Are we eating food in moderation, or are we over consuming? Now in this, we want to talk about, we often talk about this. We think that our body is a great analogy is the car analogy. You know, we want to fuel our bodies well. And what does that mean? Why don't you talk about that for a minute?
Yeah, well, we like to think about our bodies like a vehicle, right? Vehicles need fuel to run. If your car runs out of gas, it doesn't go anywhere, right? It's stuck exactly where it ran out of gas. And our bodies are like that. We need good, healthy food as fuel so that our bodies can run and work well. We also, when we go to the gas station, like fuel is expensive, right? We don't continue filling up past the point of full in our gas tanks and let the gasoline spill out everywhere, because that's wasteful. And I mean, we would never waste our money on something like that.
Also, if we're over consuming in food, it spills out and we gain weight.
Yeah, exactly. And it's wasteful and it's not good for us.
No.
And so our bodies are like a vehicle in that way. Another way that we like to talk about it is the right kind of fuel, right? If you have a gasoline engine and you try and plug an electric charger into it, well, there's nowhere to even do that. Like, I don't know how you would do that. Let's use diesel, okay? If you tried to put diesel in your gasoline engine, it would blow up. It's not going to work.
Yeah, it would leave you stranded. It'd leave you high and dry somewhere because your vehicle is going to break down. And the same thing happens with our bodies. If we put the wrong foods into our bodies, what happens? Inflammation, indigestion,
weight gain.
Yeah, all these things where we just don't feel good.
Yeah. And our bodies are incredibly resilient. Like, think about how much trash we can actually consume and still function. And our bodies can heal from that if we, reverse it and start putting the good stuff in. Like, God has made our bodies incredibly resilient.
Yeah.
but many people just continue to fuel their bodies with terrible things. And I think we're all guilty of it in this culture that we live in, because everywhere we turn, even with things that we think are healthy, we're being fed all of these chemicals and additives and preservatives and extra sugar, and sugar's hidden into names that we don't even understand. And so like we have to start paying attention, and we have to start using moderation with what we're choosing to consume. And that's why with our plan, we don't eliminate food groups, right? We believe that because of moderation, we can eat all food groups. We can have dessert once in a while. It's not wrong or sinful to have dessert once in a while, right?
No.
But the Bible says in Proverbs 25, verse 16, do you like honey? If so, don't eat too much or it will make you sick.
It even says you're going to vomit.
Yeah, one particular translation says it will make you vomit. And so it's like, it doesn't say don't eat honey, right? We can have a dessert once in a while, but what is moderation? Moderation does not mean that we are having dessert every night of the week. That's not moderation. Moderation doesn't mean that we're consuming 125 grams of sugar a day when our bodies are designed for 25. That's not moderation, right? And like, you know, if you have dessert one day, you're probably going to be over that sugar threshold, but our bodies can handle that sometimes, not every stinking day of our lives. And so moderation is just such a lost skill in our world today, it seems like, with so many things. And I think that's where we have to apply other biblical principles like the fruits of the Spirit, like self-control. Because to live with moderation, we have to use some level of self-control, right? Because food tastes good and we want more.
I know, it just makes me laugh a little bit, and I'm going to put my hubby out there. Like I was saying to him, you know, food tastes so good, and sometimes we just go back for seconds because it tastes so good. And my husband has a hard time with that. I do too. But you know, we see it in other people. Isn't that funny? I see it in myself as well. But it just tastes so good. We want one more bite.
Yeah.
We want one more taste. And it's like, no, we need to use moderation. That's what the Bible is calling us to.
Reminds me of is like every time we eat, we act like it's the last time we're ever going to get to eat.
Yeah, it's like, right? Well, I could have this again.
Yeah, like you could eat the same thing again at the next meal if it actually tastes that terribly good, rather than overstuff yourself.
That's right.
But we act like it's the last time we're ever going to get to eat. Or like we have candy and we have to finish the whole bag, or a chocolate bar, because we're never going to have it again. But we know we're going to have it again tomorrow because that's how we've been living. Like we have it. Most of us eat what we want when we want it, and we do not exert any level of self-control or moderation. And then every time we eat, we still act like it's the last time we're ever going to eat it. Or like, it's crazy.
So that's not moderation. What we have to start instilling in ourselves is using moderation every day now for 10 days.
Yeah, because we don't want to be sick, right? And the Bible is clear about the fact that too much is going to make us sick. And so are you sick right now? Like, let's work at reversing that. And sick can mean a lot of things. It can mean not feeling well. It can mean heartburn. It can mean acid reflux. It can mean cancer. It can mean diabetes. Like, it can mean a lot of different things. And we have a lot of control over a lot of those things based on how we choose to live.
Yeah. And another way you can be sick is you can be sick in your mind. You can be talking bad about yourself, to yourself. You have bad thoughts, sick thoughts about yourself in the way you don't like your body. So it's time to start with moderation in all things.
Yeah.
Okay, let's go on.
Rant over.
Let's go on to point number 3, which is one of our favorites. Treat your body like a temple.
Not a trash can.
Okay, so what do we mean by that?
Well, probably another rant. That's probably
it probably was another rant. But here it is. 1 Corinthians 6, verse 19 and 20 says, do you not know that your bodies are temples of the Holy Spirit, who is in you, whom you have received from God? You are not your own. You were bought at a price. Therefore, honor God with your bodies. Now, are you honoring God with your body? Are you treating it like a temple? Well, I hope and our prayer is that in this 10-day challenge, you will do that and it will change your life. It will make your life completely different because you're asking God into your journey, and you're just going to move forward, learning and growing in your faith, learning and growing, and just to get closer to God, because that's what it's going to do when you put your trust in Him and honor God with your body. That means in all things, including food, and you're going to feel so much better. It's just going to be an incredible 10-day challenge.
Yeah, because like another point that I want to address is kind of what you were just saying. Like, this is not about being the perfect size. This is not about being a model. This is not about any of that, right? This is about honoring our bodies and honoring God with our bodies. And that part of that means what's going on up here.
Yeah, that's
right?
a lot of it.
Yeah, like, because when we get this stuff sorted out, the rest often follows, right? And when we try and do it in the reverse order, it often falls apart, because if we have not addressed what's going on in our heads, then we fall back into old ways, because what we believe about ourselves really informs the decisions that we make.
That's right. And when you treat your body like a temple, you might think, well, what does that even mean? Well, if I think about a temple, because I was in the Mediterranean last fall, and I went to lots of like temples and colosseums, and I was where Jesus was preaching. And it's like, it just gives you this awe of standing in a place where Jesus was, and, you know, treating our body like a temple. It's honoring. It's what was it? What was I even trying
Reverent?
to say? Yeah, it's reverent. Like, we want to just be reverent and honor the temple. You're not going to throw trash at it. You're not going to throw eggs at it. You're not going to
leave your litter lying around.
Yeah, you're going to treat it with respect and honor your body. And that's how we need to treat our bodies, because the Holy Spirit lives within us. So why would we put a lot of junk into the body to make it sick? It just doesn't add up.
No, it really doesn't. And I think, you know, part of what I'm thinking about too, with what I was saying in getting our heads right, is like accepting who we were made to be, right? And that means that, like, you were created with intent. The body you have was designed for you on purpose. The shape that you have was given to you on purpose.
That's right.
And that can be a hard thing for us to accept. And it's been a hard thing, I think, for all of us to accept. And even the people that are walking around looking confident or looking like they're at a healthy weight, you know, those people have had to accept that their bodies are the way that they are, right? Like, we can't be somebody else. We can be the best version of ourselves, but we can't be somebody else. And so that means that you have to acknowledge and learn to appreciate and love who you were ultimately created to be. And like, for us, you might have heard us talk before about, like, we have very different shapes and very different bodies. Ruth is petite. I am not. I am much bigger than her. And that's okay. That doesn't mean that I'm unhealthy or need to lose more weight. That means that God gave me this body.
That's right.
And God gave Ruth that body.
We have completely different shapes.
Yeah.
And that's okay, because that's how God wanted you to be, and wanted me to be, and wanted Casey to be.
Yeah.
That's how He created us.
We still have wrinkles. We still have cellulite. We still have fat. We still have, right? Like, we have regular bodies just like you. And yeah, there's things about them that we don't love, or we're learning to love, or we're working on it, right? But we have to accept that, you know, your body is a temple, and it was created the way it was created on purpose,
And
with no mistake.
And we have to focus on the things that we can love and that we do love, and work on the ones that we have to work on.
Yeah.
But what we do when we're treating our body like a temple is we get rid of the processed junk. We get rid of the trash. We don't want to be eating any processed junk for 10 days. Now, if your daily consumption of food is processed junk, this is going to be a challenge for you.
Yeah. That could be your whole 10-day thing, is cutting out the processed junk. That could be your plan for 10 days.
That's right. And so I think that's all we want to say about that, because we're going to talk a lot more about it during the challenge. But we are just excited to do this 10-day challenge with you. And we trust that you're going to do it. We trust that you're going to go all in and say, I'm in.
Yeah.
In fact, that's what we want you to comment right now. As you're watching this, comment, I'm all in.
Yeah. And if you have questions, ask them and we will answer them too. If you ask a question while we're on live, sometimes we can't find it after the fact. So ask it again on live.
In a comment after.
Yeah, after once it's like uploaded after the live.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So let's just quickly recap very quickly our 3 points. Number 1 is to invite God into your journey every single morning.
And number 2, use moderation in all things, but in this instance, we're talking about with what we're choosing to eat.
And number 3, treat your body like a temple, not a trash can. And that means get rid of the processed junk.
Yeah. So the challenge officially kicks off on Friday. That means you have the rest of today, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday to get prepared. Because like we talked about, if you don't have a plan, it's going to be a flop of a challenge.
Yeah,
okay?
That's right.
So let's be real. Let's do the work, because anything worth having or doing in this life takes work and it takes effort. And let's learn to see this journey through the lens of like, how is God working on me and in me through this weight loss journey, instead of, oh, I have to lose some weight, right?
And you're going to be so surprised at the end of 10 days how much you have grown in the Lord.
If you're willing to surrender.
That's right.
Yeah.
And that's going to be a point on March 15th.
Exactly.
So, okay, I think that's all. And so, did you have anything else?
I don't think so.
Okay, well,
one last thing.
Okay.
Again, if you want our plan, in the description, we will also put it in the comments after the fact. It's an amazing plan. It's $97. It's going to help you on your way.
And it has helped thousands of women already lose weight. So just get back on track with whatever you're going to be doing.
Yeah.
Have a plan.
And in fact, if you do click on the link, you can see how much I have changed through the plan since the time that we recorded the video that's on there, right?
Yeah,
because
that's right.
it's, yeah, I looked at it again the other day and I went, wow, okay.
That's right. So until next time, we want to say, treat your body like a temple.
Not a trash can. Bye for now.